Hi, I'm Dr. Amanda, and I'm an orthodontist. I'm also the CEO of StraightSmile Solutions. We help dentists all over the world understand orthodontics better. We work with all systems, braces, appliances, and brands of aligners, and we support all systems and brands. This video will share content that is the property of Invisalign and Align technology. We've made this video upon request of 40,000 plus doctors, subscribers, and followers to help them achieve better outcomes with their Invisalign cases. We do not work for Align technology. All opinions expressed in this video are the opinions of StraightSmile Solutions and not Align technology. Thank you to Align Technology for continuing to support us educating and helping their doctors and letting us share this video around the world through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and all of our social media platforms. Together, we unite to make more smiles. If you have questions or concerns about this video, please contact us directly at www.straightsmilesolutions.com. Enjoy the video.
Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and today I want to thank Align Technology for, they're not letting me do this, but I'm doing it anyways because you are asking. Patients and consumers are asking, and doctors are asking about the mystery of the Invisalign Doctor Locator. So I'm here to give you some tricks and tips, not only from a doctor's perspective to make sure what your skills are, your skill set is being highlighted properly, and from a patient's perspective to make sure you understand all the different variables that are there and you're picking the right doctor for you. And again, as always, these opinions are the opinions of myself, Dr. Wilson, with StraightSmile Solutions. They are not at all the opinions of Align Technology, but I'm just giving my opinions as an independent doctor on how to use this service. I am showing some screenshots from their website, from their Doctor Locator. Thank you, Align Technology, for not making me take down this video. I'm preemptively posting this because I know it's going to get a lot of hits. And it will benefit you, Align Technology, to let me keep it up. So thank you for not sending me any more nasty letters in the mail or email or getting one of your moles to harass me. You know who I'm talking about. Anyways, let's talk about this. So first thing, actually, I'm kind of going to do this out of order. Doctor Locator. So this is more for the patient's perspective. Number 3, we're going to go over this. You need to make sure you put the patient's age. This is really important because if you have a teen or a kid, you want to make sure you are putting, the default is going to be over age 20. But if you have a teen or a child that you're interested in treatment for, you need to make sure you toggle that under age 20 because not all doctors have a lot of experience working with kids and teens. Kids and teens are 100% different from adults. There's growth to be factored into. There's growth and development. And a lot of doctors, most orthodontists should know how to do this, but there's a lot of orthodontists who aren't great at it, to be honest. So make sure you mark under age 20. The only difference is that after you've done a couple of teen cases, you get an icon or a badge for teen. So at least you're going to get matched with a more appropriate doctor if you put that. Here under display, you can mark default is orthodontist and general dentist. You can untick one of them. Why would you want to untick one of them? Well, if you really, really want an orthodontist only, then you should mark orthodontist only. General dentists can do ortho, just like general dentists can do root canals. They can pull out teeth, just like medical doctors, a family practice physician can deliver a baby, right? But you might go to an OBGYN. So the reason why I would mark a general dentist is if you were looking to do some type of, like if you think you have kind of an easier case and you were looking to do some combined restorative treatment, maybe get an implant or crowns or veneers afterwards, or a lot of fillings afterwards, or a partial denture afterwards, or if you had sleep issues, then maybe I would mark general dentist just because I think it's going to be a lot smoother, the transition, if one doctor does it all, because going back and forth between specialist and specialist can get very confusing. That's pretty much that. Your zip code, that's important. Just put in your zip code, right? This is important here, the distance. The default is kind of far away, and I don't remember what it is, but you want to select your distance. Obviously, if you're in a city where distance makes a big difference, right? You might only want to do 1, 2, or 3 miles. But if you're in the country, you might want to have a much wider, gap. 100 miles you can do. If you are maybe in a more suburban area, maybe you want to keep it a little bit tighter initially, because if you do not, you're going to get all kind of random people that are further away who are maybe higher up the ranks. So just things to keep in mind. I would not sort by tier level. And here's what I have to say about tier level, just because I've seen it from the inside. There's a lot of what I call, I don't know what the word is, collaboration, quote unquote, going on, where one orthodontist or one dentist will work with many different sub-orthodontists or dentists that they're not directly working with, but just to boost their own tier and to get the volume discount. But that doesn't mean that's the doctor who's doing your case. That doesn't mean that your doctor doing your case is any more skilled than any other doctor. So by searching for tier level, in some ways, it might be someone who's really experienced, but it might not be, right? So I personally don't think you should go with that. And I'll give you other variables that I would search by. I have a patient-facing Facebook group that, again, I don't work with consumers at all, but I just have it just as a way to give back. And a lot of people are always bragging on their doctor. Oh, my doctor's a diamond. I'm like, I look them up and I'm like, they're not really. So just because they're funneling all kinds of doctors through cases through their accounts, they rise the rank. It doesn't mean that they're any more talented or skilled than any other doctor that's out there. So just letting you know, who cares? And, sometimes they have the worst cases. I see their outcomes. I'm like, oh my goodness, this person does not know what they're doing. But anyways, okay. So there are certain icons and badges that will pop up when you search a doctor. So I kind of want to go over what they are. So this one is like what I was talking about. I was talking about diamond, right? Diamond plus. To me, this means very little. Because if you're an independent solo doctor, it is very difficult to rise the ranks. So these tend to be more group practices, DSOs. And the higher you get where multiple people own the company, the less quality often the treatment plans are. Because one really good orthodontist can't possibly do 1,000 treatment plans in a year. Well, they can, but they wouldn't be doing patient treatment. They'd be too busy doing treatment plans, right? So a lot of times they're outsourcing treatment plans. And don't get me wrong, I support doctors with treatment plans. So, I'm not against it because you can have really great treatment plans, but this is multiple people touching the case. So just because they're high up doesn't mean that your treatment's going to be any better. A lot of times it's worse. And I've seen a lot of these treatment plans are just plain old bad and they might be VIP or Diamond Plus. So that means nothing to me. Sometimes if they're lower down, they're spending a lot more time individually. And the doctor who's actually treating you is the doctor who's working on your treatment plan. So that is a question you need to ask when you go in. Are you the one that's going to be doing my clean check? Are you the one that's going to be preparing my treatment plan? Are you the one I'm going to be seeing every visit? You need to ask that question because these higher level practices that are bigger, they tend to have a lot of like minions that do the actual work. I'm not saying a dental assistant is fine. That's normal. But is the same doctor going to be checking you every time you come in? If you're doing virtual check-ins, is the same doctor going to be meeting with you? Or are you going to have all different doctors? Good things to know, right? Good things to ask. Okay, so this is a really important one, the iTero digital scanning. Right now, Invisalign or Align technology is only, for the most part, accepting iTero scans in the US. Canada's slightly different. They accept a couple other ones. iTero is a brand that Align technology or Invisalign owns, okay? So that's their brand of scanner. So if you buy their brand of scanner, which by the way is about $35,000, it's very expensive, then you get that badge. Just from the patient's perspective though, you're gonna have a way better treatment if you have a scan versus an impression. It's just how it is. It's gonna track better, it's gonna get done quicker, you're gonna have a better outcome, it's gonna be a better patient experience. So this is a no-brainer for me. And even, by the way, doctors, if you are, let's say, for example, I know some doctors that are using a radiology clinic to take their iTero impressions. They may not yet be at the volume where they want to invest $35,000 in a scanner, but they'll send their patients down the street to a radiology center that does use an iTero scanner. You still get the badge on your doctor locator if you do that, because you're still using iTero for your scans. So you don't have to buy one to get the scans. Or if you're having an oral surgeon or another friend take the scans for you, same thing. So from a patient perspective, that's a no-brainer. That's a 100%. If you do not see an iTero badge on there, do not go to that doctor. I will tell you that, because the outcomes will not be as good and it'll be a poor patient experience. So that's a no-brainer for me. And I know doctors are going to get mad, and a lot of doctors own a scanner, but they don't own that brand. But if you're going to do Invisalign, you really need to find a way to use the iTero. That's a no-brainer to me. Okay, so we went over 1, 2, and 3. Let's talk about MA, mandibular advancement. This is not that important, but if you do have a young kid, less than age 10, it may be something that you want to consider looking for a doctor that has the MA badge, because that's telling you that the the doctor has experience with growing kids. Okay. So I would be looking for that if you have a younger kid. Adult and teen doctors, again, same thing. If you have a teen, look for a doctor that has the teen badge. Otherwise, they're not used to working with growing kids or teens. And same thing with Invisalign First, same thing. These all pretty much all lumped together, 4, 5, and 6. Invisalign First, teen, and MA. So if you have a teen or a child, you need to look for a doctor that really has all three of these, MA, teen, and Invisalign First. If they do not have all three, then they're probably not a very experienced doctor. So you can have a doctor who's silver or gold, who has all this plus the iTero. I would feel really, really good about a gold or gold plus doctor. They're still doing tons of cases per year. They might be a small practice where you get a lot of attention, where the actual doctor who's doing your treatment plans will also be monitoring you and seeing you every month. And they have experience with younger kids stuff. That would be the perfect doctor for me. Even platinum, anywhere in there. Once you start getting up here, they start outsourcing a bunch of stuff. And there's no way one doctor can do all this. So the question is, I want to meet every doctor who's going to be involved in my case, and it gets a little more hairy. So this, I would be focusing on picking, honestly, a gold plus, or platinum plus doctor. That is the perfect, and then ask the questions again. Are you the doctor who will see me every single visit when I come in, or be doing my virtual consults? And can I contact you to ask questions? And will you be doing my treatment plan? And then the last question, of course, you always want to ask, and I can't hammer this home enough, is remember, doctors or patients, just so you know, doctors do not need to pay anything in order to do your setup or see your ClinCheck. Your ClinCheck is your virtual animation of how your teeth will move. It does take them time. They got to take a scan. That doesn't cost them anything, just their time. But for me as a doctor, I have zero problems showing a patient or exporting the ClinCheck, whether they want to come in and look at it, or there's a way you can export the patient ClinCheck so that they can look at it at home. It's a little complicated and involves a lot of downloading and other stuff from the patient's perspective. So sometimes it's smoother just to have them come in, and I sometimes prefer to do it with them, or I'll do a Zoom session where I'll play it for them and they can watch it, and I could tell them about what we're doing and what we're seeing. But you shouldn't have to put down any money in order to do that, because it doesn't cost the doctor anything. Of course, the doctor would love to have you locked in so that if they're spending like an hour and a half doing this, they're actually making some money off of it, They're not just doing it for fun. But if you are on the fence, or if you are being selective, it's a great idea to view the ClinCheck first and feel really confident the doctor can talk about the treatment plan, and you can ask tons of questions. And if the doctor is not able to answer the questions, then this is probably not the right doctor for you. And that's why I recommend that you have a ClinCheck session with the doctor, and you don't put one penny down until you've viewed the ClinCheck and you feel confident in it. This is the biggest mistake that I see patients make all the time. And it's so easily correctable. You just have to ask. And if you, at the beginning, when you're getting your consult, if they say, no, you can't do that, then that's the wrong office for you. That's a no. Walk out immediately. Do not take that doctor, because any quality, talented doctor, orthodontist, or dentist would let you do that. Anyone that was confident in their skills. That is literally the easiest way to pick a doctor. Look at the ClinCheck, view it. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. You want to look at the outcome. You want to look at the bite. You want to see the occlusion. You want to see the overjet. You want to see the midlines. If it seems like it's too fast, Invisalign should take about the same time as braces, maybe slightly less, because you're changing trays every week or every 5 days. But if your braces are going to take 1 to 1.5 years, then guess what? Your Invisalign should be taking just as long, maybe slightly less. But if they're telling you if they're telling you in braces that it's a 1 to 1.5 year case, and they're telling you it's 12 aligners, something's not matching up. That's not a good ClinCheck, because it's not going to be predictable. So anyways, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much.